Not funny. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Not funny.
And we are live. Welcome to the Red Blue Pod number 112. How are you, Cole?
Decent. How about you?
I'm doing great. Another great Friday. I've just seen The Fall Guy for a sixth time in theater because I adore this movie, man. I adore it just so much. And it's a crazy parallel because I hated one of the two movie we covered today, and I thought the other one was like I won't say like really bad, but I won't say really great either. That was like right in between. Um, I guess we can start with the really terrible one. What did you thought of that Bob Marley movie?
It was, yeah, pretty bad. Unfortunately, I did see this coming, so I'm not surprised because you probably haven't seen the director's other films, but
You're right, I didn't.
yeah, I have, and yeah, I'm not a fan of the director at all. I'm not a fan of his films. They're very sappy and melodramatic films, and his directed and visual style is always just so generic and bland and like made for TV. There's no style to it, and the aspect ratios are always like either too big or too small in scenes. It's just his films has always been just ugly to me. Um, like he did that Monsters and Men film, which was mediocre. He did that fucking one Will Smith thing that was mediocre. He did Joe Bell, which was really bad with Mark Wahlberg. He did King Richard with Will Smith, which was painfully average, and I don't understand how that got Will Smith a fucking Oscar. Insane, and then he fucking slaps Chris Rock in the same fucking night. Jesus Christ! But anyway, and then he did this. So yeah, I knew going into this was gonna be bad probably, and yeah, not surprised. I'm kind of surprised the acting was as bad as it was. So, sort of at least. Most of the cast isn't like the best on paper, but the two lead-in people in this, I expected more out of. Like Kingsley Benadir, the guy who played Bob Marley. Now, he has been, not been doing the best in certain films, but he did this one film though where it was like his breakout film, which was One Night in Miami, which he played Malcolm X in, and he was fantastic in that. So I thought, maybe he is actually just like an incredible actor. That probably isn't just like a fluke performance or whatnot. He's just been, getting the wrong films with like bad directors and stuff. And I still think that's the case because shit like with Secret Invasion and everything, it's not like they're the best. I still think that's the case, but yeah, this is still another one from him though, where it was bad. He did not come off as Bob Marley at all. He was just really bad. And the other lead, Lashana Lynch, who was in No Time to Die, Captain Marvel, the Marvels, Multiverse of Madness.
She was in the Marvels. I didn't even notice. What?
What? She was Maria Rambo.
Oh, okay.
And she's an actress who is an up and comer, and she, there's some potential I see in her. Like, she definitely has some charisma in her performances, but nothing though that have like really wowed me so far. I don't know why she even won that up and comer fucking award at the BAFTAs, and I still don't know why going off of this because she was not good in this either. Really, she was definitely better than the other lead though, but I wasn't saying much. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the leads. The directing style was generic as hell. This was a really bad, generic, sappy telling of the story. Just average biopic. and all the music and everything, the sound design, and tuning is just really not good. The cinematography and lighting is really a waste, a potential, and the writing is just pretty shit as well. Yeah, this was not a good film at all. I really did not like this, and yeah, this the people who tried defending this film honestly just comes off as the same people who really jerked off Bohemian Rhapsody, where I'm just like, you guys are just you just like this because you're Queen's fans, all right? Not because you like think the movie is amazing. Like, I'm sorry, that movie was a fucking mess, and I think the same thing here. But yeah, that's my thoughts. What about you?
Goddamn right. I hated this movie with every fiber of my body. I gotta say, it's the worst movie I've seen in 2024, and L. I don't remember seeing something worse in 2023.
Oh, look, there's many worse films, all right? You're just not gonna bother watching them.
Maybe you're right,
Yeah, no,
but
there's definitely way worse, all right? It's just, yeah, I wouldn't ever recommend them to you to watch, so you're not gonna see
what about Atlas?
them. For example, that's worse, but even then, that's nowhere near one of the worst of the year. There's some absolute horrendous dog shit that you wouldn't even imagine that comes out each year that, yeah, I would not recommend to anyone.
God damn! Now I gotta say, Bob Marley One Love is really awful. Here's what I wrote on Letterbox, and it's funny because this part will be short because I don't have much more to say. So my first line is: if you like boring biopic musical movies, this shall be your movie. Do you think it describes very well the movie?
Uh, Pretty much, yeah.
So that's my first line. Um, Here's a few likes. The music was cool. I admit there's a lot of showing instead of telling. When there was something going on, it was entertaining, I guess. And that's me trying to defend the movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's everything I like.
And
uh,
everything you disliked?
let's dunk on it. I don't have much, but I feel like I have around the same. So the first thing would be pacing was horrendous early in the movie. More bad pacing and forgettable characters. It was a musical that filled the movie of music that didn't progress character or story. It was just there because Bob Marley and more pacing issues. More bad pacing. The last 40 minutes ish was straight up filler. Do you agree with anything I've said?
Um, yeah, pretty much.
So that's the movie in a nutshell.
Yeah,
So
it's just really bad. Every biopic cliche is in this.
so I gotta say, if you watch this stream on playback, do not watch Bob Marley. Thank you.
Yeah,
Um
don't watch King Richard either. That overrated piece of shit.
um, I took shots at Atlas, but I actually enjoyed Atlas, even if it's not a
God,
great
you actually
movie.
watch that? God.
Yeah, I swapped one of the topics for 2 weeks from now. So we were supposed to watch Abigail, but I changed my mind. We will watch Atlas because you've seen it, right?
God. I
Uh,
have seen it, but good lord, it's terrible.
anyway, Bob Marley, One Love. Really bad movie. Do not recommend at all. Um, I will give this movie a juicy 3 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah, give it a 2 or a 3 out of 10.
Okay. Um, so I guess we are up for the next topic. which is um, Civil War, a very interesting movie I've seen a month ago. After you kind of recommended me to watch it, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. What did you think of Civil War?
It was pretty great. Yeah. Really liked the characters and the acting in it. Really liked the story they were telling there. And now the world building wasn't the best. They feel like they really should have expanded on it more, and that was really lacking there. And like the big disappointment. And then the other thing was a lot of the outside of the main characters, where we follow the other characters, just feel like the equivalent of like NPCs dropped in like a video game that say stay in like the same exact place the whole time, and that's the best way to describe it, especially near the end, where it's like really that's the best place they choose to hide the fucking white. It's like it actually just feels like a video game, but whatever. But everything else I did like about it, like the visuals in this are gorgeous. I really love that, and just how it's directed and everything. I audio design and everything, really love. And yeah, it was just really cool just following them around and seeing the changes in the characters over time in this film. Now, there's a lot of stupid character decisions and other things, but as I was saying to Malty, all those things are pretty much intentional. The point of this film is basically like how cocky and just like stupid a lot of like these journalists get, pretty much, and like with their taking stupid risks because they're like too focused on getting the right shots and everything, and also because they have like this safety thing in their brains where it's like because they're media and they have like the logos on their helmet and van and everything, they think like that they're just completely immune and that nothing bad can ever happen to them as long as they, make it clear they are, and they, talk their way out of it well, which puts them in these scenarios. Like that's, part of the point of the film. And then also, how like pretty much the characters change over time, where Kirsten Dunst's character pretty much goes from like where she was at to basically where by the end of it, where Kaylee Spaney's character was at the beginning of the film, and then vice versa, the other way around with Kaylee Spaney's character into more so where Kirsten Dunst's character was at the beginning of the film. So yeah, uh, really enjoyed it, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. So now we're gonna hear why Malty's wrong.
I gotta say, like, um, right after seeing that movie, I went at one of my friend place, and we talked, and you also watched his movies, and it was like, did you like it? And I told my friend, I have mixed feeling. I tell you, go watch like Monkey Man or The Fall Guy, because Monkey Man was still in theater back then, and I told him, look, there's good in it for sure. There's things I did enjoy, but I don't think it's an amazing movie, or I don't know if I would recommend it to like casual moviegoer. And even if he likes movies and he enjoys it, I still consider him a casual because he likes movie like Thor, Love and Plunder, or Ant-Man Quantum Stupidity, or something like that. Um, so I still consider him a casual, and I'm like, will a casual really like this thing? I don't think so. Any thoughts on that, Cole?
What will casuals like it? Did you say?
Yeah, will casual like Civil War? Do you think so?
Um, I don't know. I don't really care though. Casuals are stupid. I don't know what they would like at this point. All right.
Okay, so that's cool answer.
Yeah.
I got a few issues, and I know Cole was able to debunk a lot of them on our discussion. So Cole basically brought back a full point. Um, but I the ones I left out, the ones I kept around, I still believe in them. Um, that's why they're still there. So the first issue I had was They told, instead of showing Kristen Dunst's backstory, um, to be honest, I don't remember very well the movie because I've seen so many movies since then, and it's been like at least 3 weeks, probably more. Um, but yeah, telling instead of showing, that's something that keeps coming back and biting again with this movie.
Okay, well, look, I'm sorry, you're just wrong there. Look, if you wanted to see it,
Yeah,
fine. All right. I
show
don't
me.
understand. I don't understand why you want so much. Like it literally, it wouldn't show much. And if anything, there's more impact with not showing it and like cutting away, and then like the characters like drastic emotions and everything. But whatever. If you want to see it, then fine. But that's not telling instead of showing. I'm sorry to say you're just wrong. That's not what telling instead of showing means.
Show me. Don't tell me. Next stop would
That
be,
isn't what it means. So go whatever.
and like the next stop. I know you said that was the point of the characters. I still find a lot of it like goddamn stupid. I feel like the
Which
action. I feel like the action and writing of characters doesn't really fit the serious tone of the movie since the characters keep doing stupid shit, yet the movie isn't really satire. It tries to be serious. Now, you
well,
said like they think they're invincible, yeah, but it doesn't erase the fact that they're horrendously stupid.
well, no, that's what happens when they think they're invincible. Like that's the point of the film. But also, when in this world, they're just they did, and some of them are young. They are doing stupid shit to like try to find any enjoyment, in this like fucking Civil War world. Like that's what happens.
Next up would be they told us they killed the two prisoner instead of showing us the barbaric action.
Well, they did show us the barbaric action.
No, they just showed like hanging up people. They
No, they
didn't
they, they
show
showed the
us
full thing and
pow
the whole
pow pow.
conversation in the photo. The only thing they didn't show is the one thing at the end. That's it.
Pow
And
pow
it's
pow.
and it's more impactful if that they didn't show the actual shooting part because it shows like afterwards and with the conversation and how we find out about it that she just really doesn't give a fuck about other people and just cares about her job.
Next up would be plot convenience, bumping into two military guys that had a fight with someone that lived in his house. Uh, I feel like if the two guys that were there were not there, the Tracy nutcase would have just deleted the group.
Okay,
Um,
well, again, you're wrong there. All right. He was there shooting them because he was going after those two people. That's was and other people that might have been in their group. That was the whole point of that scene. All right. If the other two military guys or whoever they weren't there, then the other guy shooting from the house wouldn't have been doing that or wouldn't have been there.
Next up would be plot convenience, bumping into the racist and disgusting killers. That's right after the car ride where people did stupid shit.
How is it a plot convenience? They showed in other scenes that they're everywhere.
Well, Why this random road that's like some of these random racist freaks?
Well, what do you mean, random racist freaks? That's just like was a lot of them in that group. Yeah, they were like very just like pro-American and pro in their ways. Like at that point in like the Civil War and everything.
It's still plot convenience that they would bump
How,
into them.
how though? Because throughout the rest of the film, they literally showed many instances on their trip where they drove into many other military people and other military people on the road driving. So they were all around them. Like every 2 or 3 minutes, we would see other ones. Like if we went throughout like 40 minutes of the film without seeing any, and then they just bumped into that one randomly, then sure. But they showed that they were all over the country in every place.
You know what? This one I will actually concede. This one you convinced me. So I will take it. I will erase it this one, because you just convinced me. But yeah. So next up, more stupid character moment, like going to save the girl and other guy from the crazies with guns. That was right after the plot convenience call saved.
Yeah, but again, though, it's because they're
No,
so
it's no that
confident.
that one was goddamn stupid. Oh, they have guns. Let's go talk to them. Yeah,
Yes,
sure. We'll
yes,
just get
yes,
deleted.
yes. In their view, though, they just think like they just saw them speed in, so they thought they might be criminals or something, and they're like, okay, so if we just tell them that yeah, they're just media people, we're just media people, then all good, because again, they're that confident that they're just that safe as long as they're considered media people to everyone around them.
They
Like if
have
that's
seen a bunch of dead corpse. How in the hell you would think you're safe to go talk
yeah,
to these crazies?
yeah, a bunch of dead corpse from like people they were fighting, or just mowing down during
No,
the Civil
there's
War, but
clearly
they weren't like
civilian in the bunch. It's not all like military clothes. I just don't see
yes,
like
and they
in
and they did mention that, but again, they were still confident enough with like that they're in this like safety bubble with their fucking job that they thought, okay, just have to go over there, all good. And
the
and they
old guy
even
was
show
like, "Let's not do this," and I was
yes,
like, "Just
yes,
listen to
and
the old
yes, and
guy."
that shows though that it wasn't just stupid character things. There was a point to the scene with how the characters think there, and then the one character being smart enough, and because he's been around longer, to realize, no, that's not the case. You are way too overconfident. And then he pays the price for it by saving them, and then cost them in his life. And then they realize the faults there. So it's like
Yeah, I'm
that's the
so
whole that's the
pissed
whole
by
point
this
of the
shit.
scene.
I think they're goddamn stupid. Like, I don't think any normal human being would do this shit. Like, I get what you're saying, man. I really get it, but it just doesn't add up for me. I hate how stupid they are made just for this scene to happen.
I
I
mean,
hate
they're
it
stupid
deeply.
throughout the whole film, though. Like that's the point of the film. It wasn't just at that one point where they were stupid. They were stupid at a lot of points and smart at a lot of points, because that was like it's pretty much like showing like how they are in real life, and with like during a lot of like wars like that. This is how a lot of war like photojournalists and such are in real life, which is why a handful of them get fucking killed stupidly all the time.
Um, Next up would be more stupid moment, like the president not trying to escape to the bunker. It felt very easy for the military to take him out. So I know they used some kind of decoy at some point, and you're like, oh, maybe they have a plan, maybe they're smart, but no, like the military just enters the White House and they go on a rampage there, and you're like, so the president just stood there and waited until he got executed.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, finally you brought up one valid issue about the film. Finally,
The other ones
like
are.
no, that they aren't. But this is one valid issue with it. Yes, and this was throughout the film, which is the one issue, and well, one of the issues I actually have with it, which is yeah, they're all just like placed there in places like NPCs. Like they don't feel like real humans. It's just like, oh, like really, there's a war happening. They're about to like try to kill them all. And where does the president like hide out, or like put his last stand? And all the other people in the fucking the White House. Like really, just right there in his fucking office under the table. Are you fucking? It's like it actually feels like just a shitty video game with NPCs. But anyway.
But like you bring NPCs, maybe that's another way to tell they are all stupid, these characters. So thank you for supporting my idea and directly.
No, no, no. Because I'm talking about the supporting character, like the side characters, the background extras and such. All right, not the main characters.
Anyway, so you brought back another half a point. Congrats, bro. Now I did have a few likes because again, I didn't really hated the experience. I still hated like most characters, but Um, yeah. Um, that will sound weird, but let's poke fun at people that misunderstood uh, why the movie didn't really want to get too political. Like, the point of the movie was showing the atrocities of war and the consequence of war, not necessarily like the ideas behind war. It's more like the war is a plot device for the story to unfold. So when someone is like, "Oh, but we need to understand why the right went after the left," I don't give a shit about that. That's not the point of the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. There's a lot of people who called this film cowardly with its politics and just saying, yeah, this is just a center person's fucking wet dream, and just being like, yeah, it does nothing with like the political messages and stuff. And it's like, that isn't the point of the film, though. It's not trying to do any political messages. It's literally just used for the world build, and the point of it is the journalist characters following them around and their character arcs and growths, or like weaknesses over time and everything. Like, that was the point of the film, not any political stuff like that. Really, they're just used it as world building. And yeah, the world building could have been better though, and could have been expanded on, instead of just doing like cheesy stuff like the Antifa massacre. So yes, you could call that a flaw, but what people really are complaining, it's just stupid. It's ridiculous.
Again, so like I've seen it, and you know what's funny? I feel like I bring them up a lot, but it's mainly the anti SJW that are like that, because they are grifters that really wants everything to be political, and that's
Well,
why
yeah,
they're
they
like,
don't watch movies. They just like complaining about them. All right.
yeah, like they drain, they siphon the fun out of movies in the way they do
Yeah.
it.
Uh, yeah, it's just very funny, like how they don't realize how stupid they are. It's like they're like, but I don't want any politics in my films, but it's like that's impossible. And it's like people are like, okay, so what's your favorite type of films, or what films would you make? And then they explain it, and I'm just like, yes, there's politics all over those fucking films. Like, they're just like, do they not realize that even just shit like action scenes involving like gun violence and stuff can be called political? Like, anything in movies can be called political. Like, everything in the world is political. All right, you fucking idiots. You
And
dumb motherfuckers.
to add to this, I gotta say, I think one of the ideas the movie, one of the message the movie had was war shows no mercy. That's why even the president in the end dies. It doesn't give a shit. Like, you're in the mix of a war. If you're unlucky, you will end up with a bullet in the brain or something like that. I think that's one of the message the movie had. Um, any thoughts on that statement?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a strong message in the film, but I can see it.
Um, the action was really cool. The sound effects were really good. Um, the movie was entertaining. I gotta admit. Some of the humor did work, and since there's no not funny in my dislikes, that means when it didn't really work, it wasn't painfully bad like other movies can be. Um, the main characters, even if I thought they were really stupid, they were still like entertaining, and they had really good moments, like them realizing, oh, the president is not in this car; he is still inside. Even if that moment is a dislike that he just stood there and waited to get deleted, the idea of them figuring out, oh, still inside, that was cool. I like that thing. Um, I remember having another moment where they were clever, but I don't know if I noted and I it slipped out my mind. Do you remember any other moment where they actually did something smart?
Uh, Sorry, what? Could you repeat it? Like, what other moments? What do you mean?
Do you remember any moment where the reporters, the main characters, were smart?
Yes, they're smart throughout the film. You just don't realize that because they're just basic, normal things they do with their jobs, like just them knowing where to do, like knowing when it's safe to do certain things at points. Their strategy to get through it, and with the gasoline and everything, and the supplies that they carry, like with the weight and everything, like they do throughout the film. It's just things that you don't think about because it's just regular things for them that they don't touch upon. So you only remember like when they do
Stupid.
the handful of stupid stuff, which again is the message of the film. When they then throw caution to the wind, but to try to get the perfect shot, or because they think like they're just immune to everything on all sides because they're dumb like that.
Now I gotta admit, each death was impactful, and the last death, which is Kristen Dunst, was kind of sad. Um, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean it was good. My one issue though was like when just like the time frame of it though, where God, like what how they shot that death scene with her was really poorly done. How it just felt like there was like a fucking 8-second pause before she actually got shot from behind after pushing her down there. I didn't like that, but
It's I also enjoyed like the music that was cool. Now, am I crazy to say and think that they were trying to tell you that the president was some kind of dictator? That's why he went into like 3 terms or something like that. Because I remember
yeah,
you guys had a 2 term law, or I don't know, and then they mentioned like it's third term, I believe. Am I right on that?
yeah. I mean, there's again, it's not expanded on, and that's one of my other issues with the film. They didn't expand stuff like that in the world building as much, so I really don't know. Like, but I mean, yeah, yeah, probably something like that, which I mean started it all. Um, yeah.
And I will also add something else. The Three Ways War was cool since even during the peace times, the USA are goddamn divided. Like, just look at what's going on online. Like, they rip each other off. Oh, we
Mm,
hate you, SJW. Oh, we hate you, anti SJW. Like, this is just like Americans. Like, I feel like
yep.
guys are just the perfect reflection of like human self destruction. So yeah, I thought the movie did that very well. Um, Now the last few things. Parts of me really like the movie again. Other parts of me ate, and the reviewer also has a few issues, even if you disagree with most. Um, Overall, I'd say I like the movie, but I don't think it's great. And when I say I like the movie, it's more like enjoying some great moments and parts of the message and some of the execution of the movie. Now, again, I don't think it's bad by any means, um, but it's not perfect. Like among all of the movies I've seen this year, this one is like in the lower part. Like there are 4 movies worse than that, like Argyle, Drive Away Dolls, Liz Frankenstein, and Bob Marley. But like I've seen a lot of other movies I liked a lot more than this, and that I also thought were better. Um, so yeah, I don't have much to say. Do you want to add something, Cole?
Oh no, that's about it.
The intent was really to do another of these short stream. I feel like when it's only me or me and like one guest or 2 guests, that will be the new kind of runtime for the podcast, and that's
It's
fine.
fine. Short is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. So it's a mediocre movie, but the higher end of mediocre for me. What about you?
7.
Oh, we are close, but your 7 means a lot more than me. um, anyway, we are out for now, and I will talk to you a bit backstage if you got a few minutes. Anyway, this is the end.